Kratom for bodybuilding. Kratom's an herb that people are using to get high, and it's in an oral pill form because it's not for human consumption. But I was initially against all of these recreational drugs the same way I was against DNP before I first experimented with it myself. The mainstream media had demonized all of these things, and well, now that I believe in DNP being an amazing remedy for obesity, potentially cancer, definitely diabetes, and all these other ailments, and a tool that I use regularly with no side effects, I realize how much misinformation the media had against it. So I've now opened up my mind to things like Kratom, and I think a lot of people were hiding it from me before because everybody knew I was against recreational drugs. Now I'm finding a lot of bodybuilders are using Kratom, and so I'm going to be trying it very soon myself because my friend Brad from Hemp Remedies also sells it. And so I have here IFBB Pro Dan Decker, who's been using Kratom, and then later we're going to talk to pro bodybuilder and Coach Paul and also Coach Trevor about their use of Kratom, as we learn that it's much more common than I thought in bodybuilding. So I want to know specifically how it helps a bodybuilder, because most people watching are people into pioneering human evolution, which includes our physical form and our mental form. So physically and mentally, how does Kratom help you? And then we'll talk about dosages and side effects.
Well, Kratom, it depends on the strands. I mean, Kratom has there's 20, 30 different strands of Kratom. You know, some are more better for pain, some are more mood uplifting, some are more relaxing. But the strand I like to use before my workouts is Mangda. And even in Mangda, there's strands within strands. There's red Magnum, white Magnum, green Magnum. But I found that the Magnum strand's like excellent before workouts. Basically, Kratom has, each strand of Kratom usually has 20 different alkaloids in it. But the alkaloids in the Mangda are excellent. They're more energizing. And I like to use them before workouts because they boost your mood. They're just more uplifting, and they stack well with pre-workouts as well, is what I found. You know, the better you feel, the better workouts you get sometimes too.
I heard someone else who was using it talking about it helps you push through the pain threshold, and part of the benefit of, or part of the requirement of being a bodybuilder at your level is to take a set through a certain level of pain threshold. Do you think it helps with that as well?
I don't know. Maybe not directly, but I feel more of the energizing effects and the mood enhancing effects, which could, you know, indirectly help with the pain, you know. So like, yeah, I mean, I've definitely find it.
How much time goes between when you take it and when you start working out? Like, how long does it take to feel it, and when do you prefer to take it before the workout?
The thing I like to do, it's going to work best on an empty stomach like anything else. You know, I usually will take the Kratom first thing in the morning. It usually tastes really nasty, so you usually got to mix it with chocolate milk or something. You do that first thing, it kicks in, it's the first thing that hits your stomach, and then you can eat a meal. And then within 30 to 40 minutes is when you usually start feeling it.
How long do you think it lasts for?
I would say a few hours, but it peaks probably at about an hour to an hour and a half to last. And then as it's coming down, it's a little more relaxing too.
So it's not like a crash. You don't have like a negative inverse effect. You have you go from being energizing to being relaxing.
Calm, a little relaxing. But the calming effect, I mean, as long as you're working out, you're not going to feel, you know, the calming effect.
Do you know the dosage you take in grams?
Everybody's different. I mean, it's going to depend on your body weight and your tolerance levels. So I've been using it several months, so my tolerance levels are really high. And it works through your opioid receptors, and just like opiates, you know, the alkaloids bombarding your opioid receptors all the time. Your body builds a tolerance really fast from it. And usually you'll need to do a couple days washout if you're using it on a consistent basis. As you never usually want to use it more than 2 or 3 days in a row, as you will develop a tolerance really fast from it.
So give us an example of how many days per week. Is like a 2 day on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 2 days off? Just an example.
For myself, I might do like 2 days on, 2 days off, or somewhere that I always give myself a couple days during the week that I don't use it, you know. And like the Bali strains and some other strains, they're good to take before, you know, bed before you go to bed at night. They're more relaxing. You know, so, and you usually don't want to run 2 strands in the same day too. You know, so that's like I said, just it's not something you can use every day. You know, just use it on the workouts you really need. You know.
What kind of workouts would you use it for? Like a leg workout?
Yeah,
the ones that are harder to get through
leg
mentally?
workout, back workouts. You know, they can be mentally tougher to get through or whatever.
So not on a chest and arms day.
No, but yeah. And then stack it with your favorite pre-workout, and you'll notice a big difference.
And what happens if you take too much in one dosage?
It's not safe to take too much. I know this firsthand fact. It's not going to kill you, but it's going to make you sick and wish you were dead. So, so always be careful, especially if you're trying it for the first time. Start with a low dose, a couple grams, and work your way up. You got to find what dose works best for you.
So usually they come in somewhere around 500 milligram capsules, or a heaping teaspoon or a rounded teaspoon,
Right.
would be like 4 grams. So would that be like 8 capsules, or 4 grams would be kind of a beginner's dose, or kind of an intermediate?
I would say a beginner dose is going to be like 2 or 3 grams.
Okay, err on the side of taking less. Yeah.
Right.
2 to 3 grams being like a half of a teaspoon.
Right.
And or about 4 to 6 capsules roughly.
Right. That would be, for me, since I got a higher tolerance, I have to do 5 teaspoons, 5 heaping teaspoons. So I've developed a little bit of a tolerance of it. Plus my body weight. It's body weight related as well.
Right.
So.
As a bodybuilder, a heavy bodybuilder probably takes a higher dosage.
Right.
Okay, in future episodes, we're going to get opinions from Coach Trevor and Coach Paul and some other bodybuilders on their use of Kratom. We'll talk about what strands they use, which dosage they take, what days they take it, how many days they take it on, and how many days they take it off. And then if you guys put questions in the comments below, then I can ask those questions in future interviews of bodybuilders that use Kratom. We can all learn. Thank you for...
I don't know if it's necessarily considered a drug. The American Kratom Association says it's not a drug. We know it works through alkaloids, so...
It depends how you define drug.
Right,
According to the United States, it is a drug, but it's a drug from a natural source.
It is banned in 4 states, too, so...
And it's not a scheduled substance by the DEA, but it is...
They're working on it.
It is called a misbranded drug by the FDA if it's promoted for human consumption. So this video is not to promote human consumption of this. This is for experimentation, educational purposes only, of people's personal account of their use of this drug, not medical advice for you to take it. Don't take it without doctor direction. Be swole and swole. My friends of freedom, pioneers of human evolution.